I would just like to say that I am terrified that even you, someone who's obviously educated, has given up hope completely. Like when you call upon us, you say white folk, you say black people, Jewish people. Why can't we come together? We obviously can come together. We just have to find a way to do it.
The desire is good, but the reality is the total opposite of your desire. And unfortunately, as a young lady, you are not in the position of power to make the decisions to make America work. May I, you know, as an audience of intelligent people, I would like to just take a moment to say to you that I really don't think you fully understand what has happened to these people that you look at as second-class or inferior citizens in this nation. Black people who were brought to this country were stripped of their names, language, culture, religion, God, and taken totally away from the history of themselves. Here are 30 million people who don't wear their own names, they wear your names. Who don't speak their own language, they speak English, which is not their language. They never were allowed their own cultural expression of Africa. Don't you realize that when you turn a people upside down and inside out, then sell them not for a day, not for a year, but for 300 years, and deny us the human right to know, to read a book, to learn, to understand. And then after 300 years of that, you allow us into the church, but by that time you've painted Jesus white, God white, the angels white, and then all these black people have been subjected to a form of white supremacy, which produces in the reverse a black inferiority. And this is fulfilling what Jesus said, as a man thinketh, so is he. And as long as our people think the way they think, we will never be able to do what we as a people should do to correct our condition.
Over here, please.
Hello, brothers and sisters. So you all know this man, Louis Farrakhan. If you have been watching videos, this man has been on the front line to fighting for the rights of black people. And on this video, he is confronted by white audience. He's asked very hard questions about black people. This man puts them in their places. He tells them the damn truth about black people, about slavery, about the pain they went through, about the resilience in these people, guys, about the tragedies of their life till now. So guys, just listen to this video, then we are going to have a quick breakdown.
Several people in the audience have said the things that he's saying, but you really haven't.
What I'd like to say, there was somebody over there in the audience who said that they were afraid, they were scared when they were talking about what he was saying, you see. And what I'm saying is, the other day, you asked Mandela that same question about fearing, white people fearing, you know, what will the black folks do and stuff. We should be running down the street screaming, ramping, and raving, because when you look at the statistics, who is the one dying? From the policemen, from the KKK, from the skinheads, from the black people.
We're getting be scared. It should be the people of color.
Right. Yeah. It should be us who should be scared, or y'all sitting here.
Excuse me, I was brought up in, quote, Bedford-Stuyvesant in my time. But I would like to say what scares us is I think we hear violence.
May I respond? Yeah. May I respond, please? I'm sorry.
All right. Minister Farrakhan, would you explain why it is relevant at this stage in 1990, with all that we've gone through, why it is still relevant to try and to educate or to get white people to understand the plight of black people? Shouldn't the energy be directed to us.
Right on. If I may, my work is directly to black people. I spend 99% of my time dealing with us to help us reform our minds and spirit that we may do for ourselves. However, when you live in a society like this, and we know that in order to effect a solution to a problem between black and white, then there's going to have to be some meaningful dialogue between black and white in order to effect a solution. The young lady said she's afraid of violence. And isn't it sad that we who have been the victims of so much violence, now whites fear violence from us? We do not have a history of killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. See? And what you fear, may I say this, sir? What you fear, and it's a deep guilt thing, that white folks suffer. You are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us. And I think you are judging us by the state of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind of black people.
I'm with you in that you're talking about wanting to have meaningful dialogue, and that's a problem. You know, right away, I don't know what's going to make whites happy, for Pete's sake. You know, you're talking about trying to find a solution to your problem. You're trying hard to do that, and we're tuning you right out. We're arguing with you. We're not agreeing with anything. We're not trying to give you a chance. For Pete's sake, you know, what do we want?
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Farrakhan, there's a situation now where 1 in 4 black males are in prison or in jail or in some type of probation situation, okay? When I look around, even myself being a black reporter, okay, and they talk about racism, of a black and white person go to the job, a black person is going to get the job, I never find that out. And we're in New York City with a black mayor, and I still haven't seen it. And when I see Minister Farrakhan, not only the brothers enlighten me, but he gives me hope to not give up, not go get a pistol and stick somebody up, okay? So when I see you, not only are you the light and the hope, but I think, white America, you need to listen. And please don't harm this brother, because we love him.
Yeah, hang on, yeah.
Getting back to what she said, what exactly do we have a problem with? Before you made a statement, you said that I think that, well, not I, you said that white people think that you're inferior to us. I don't believe that. I'm part of the youth of America. I am not prejudiced. I feel more prejudiced right now than I've ever felt. Not against black, I am not prejudiced against black people. Some of my best friends are black people. I am, what's the problem with that?
Yeah.
You let him speak, let me speak.
Yeah. You wanted to speak to this young woman?
No, I don't want to speak.
Who wants to talk to her? Yes.
No,
yes.
what do you mean you feel more prejudice right now?
Because the way he's saying
Because what?
what he's saying right now, I mean, I feel that you are prejudiced towards white people.
Okay, but excuse me. I think it's like he said, it might be a fear or misunderstanding that you have, because what fear has he put, or what has he actually said here today that makes you feel prejudiced?
I think that he said that we think that they're inferior. I think it's partly part of your own complex that you have to get over, because I don't feel you're inferior. I have nothing against black people.
Let me answer her. This is the, excuse me, this is the situation. Every young white adult says, I have not done this to black people. I have not done that to black people. But your forefathers are the ones who have set us in the situation we are in. Now, what I'm saying is this. When Nat Turner stood up, you all rejected him. You killed him. When Marcus Garvey stood up, you all rejected him, enslaved him. He died a broken heart. Now, what I'm saying is this. Your fathers have put us in the condition we are in, and today you are profiting from what your forefathers have done. Now, my grandchildren are going to be raised, and your children are going to say to them, they have not done to them, because you are the ones who are going to do to my grandchildren what they're going to experience if the situation continues. Now, what I'm saying is this. When we talk about America falling, what we are saying is this. If you all want to control America, then we must have a land base that we control. You all cannot continue printing the dollar bill and then expect us to abide by your rules when you do not want to give us jobs. Therefore, I'm saying that we have now got to come into negotiations, and Minister Farrakhan is the man to listen to.
It becomes apparent more and more as we listen to each other and try to talk to each other that we don't perceive reality the same. And as we're talking about either reconciling differences or separating, it becomes clear that if two people are looking at the same thing and perceiving it so differently, then the two people are operating under a different stimulus. And so when the young lady says, I am prejudiced, to be prejudiced means to judge before the fact. After 400 years of living and experiencing, we're not prejudiced. We are looking at the reality of what we have suffered and continue to suffer.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you there, caller?
Yes.
Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry it took us a while to get you, but go ahead. I know you'll be brief.
I'm a white American born into poverty, and I overcame it. You know, the opportunities are here in America, and why can't we just start now? We hear all this violence. Why can't we just talk in a positive way and go forward instead of remembering all these things that are in the past that are negative? They were not good for blacks, not good for white.
Yes, Minister Farrakhan commenting.
According to the State of Black America by the Urban League, if we started right now, they said, we could never close the gap to black poverty and white poverty. She said, let us start right now. Let's forget the past. Notice this. When Jewish people remember the Holocaust and want the world to remember the Holocaust. Wait. Why do you want the world to remember? Because if the world does not remember, it is likely to repeat itself. And Jewish persons who suffered from the Holocaust want the world to remember this because the world turned its back while Jews were put in ovens. I, as a black person, want my people to remember what we have suffered and what we continue to suffer so that we will say like the Jews, never again. Never again.
Okay, I've been listening in this corner right here, and I've heard a whole lot of negative things from the white people here. When you are trying to explain yourself, the white people don't want to hear you explain yourself. They drown you out. They start already trying to drown you out and talk over you. There's a certain amount of white arrogance here, and they don't want to listen to what black people are saying. They don't understand because they don't want to understand. I've heard a woman here say, go back to Africa. Somebody said, we have a black holiday. What does that mean? So what does that mean? He did not say that. He said, if we have a choice, what some of us can go and some of us can stay. But there's no understanding in here. People are just trying to talk.
To those arrogant persons, you know, when you tell us go back, please remember where you came from. And when you want to relegate somebody to a specific place, just remember what your origin is in this world. Please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I want you to understand that you, wherever you are on the earth, you are not a native anywhere. You came there and took it from the native people who are there. So please don't talk about going back, because if others talk to you about that, where would you go?
So this video, the questions asked, mostly our focus is on slavery. And when people discuss about slavery, they often focus on plantation forced labor only. But slavery was way bigger. Even before enslaved people arrived in America, another tragedy had occurred. A tragedy involving kidnapping, separation, cultural destruction, one of the largest forced migration in human history. And today, we're going to examine what happened, how millions of Africans were taken from their homes, and how Louis Farrakhan is answering to those questions, guys. So on this video, I'm discussing the way Louis Farrakhan is trying to put those answers by discussing the exact things that happened before. So guys, Africa is presented as if it were a single place with a single culture. Nothing could be further from the truth. Africa was home to hundreds of ethnic groups, guys, those days. Thousands of languages, ancient kingdoms, powerful trading networks, universities, farmers, engineers, every good thing. The fact is important because the fact is that this thing called slavery often reduces people to victims. Because before they became the victims, these people were people. They had cultures, they had dreams, they had languages, they had names, they had everything good. And when the so-called demand for labor increased in America, millions of Africans became target for capture and sale. These people were seized during wars, they were kidnapped, betrayed, they were sold into systems that ultimately fed a growing international slave trade. What followed was often devastating, and entire communities lived with fear that family might disappear. And this is what Louis Farrakhan is trying to put inside the minds of these people, this white audience, to just understand the resilience, the kind of pain, the kind of problems the black people went through. And that's the pain, that's the thing that keep them living in the daily life. So guys, many people never reached ships immediately. I'm talking the black Americans, I mean the Africans who were taken from their homelands. Because some of them died on the way. Some got hungry and died. They went through the worst kind of life. These people were put through the worst areas. They were confined in holding areas. They were treated like property. They were treated like people who don't exist. That's why Louis Farrakhan is very furious. He answers this question with a straight head because he feels the pain of his fellow black people. He has read history. He understands what kind of pain these people went through. He understands what kind of life these people went through. And when he is confronted about black people being not good people, it eats on his heart. It feels like, you people, you take us for granted. You people, you think we're inferior. You people, we made you actually better. You people, we made things in America better. But you guys don't even write our names on these places. We build the White House, but our names are getting tried to be erased there every day. And that's why Louis Farrakhan is trying to put a point in the minds of these people. Because when these people, like Africans, arrived in America, they had passed through a lot of trauma, and that trauma did not end. In many places, enslaved Africans were inspected and sold. And still, while in America, families still got separated. Those who managed to arrive there as family. Children could get sold away from their parents. Husbands from wives, brothers from sisters. And people became property of the law. Just think about that. And think about what Louis Farrakhan was answering to these people. Their names were often changed. Languages disappeared from across generations. Religious practices were restricted among these people. Cultural traditions forced enormous pressure in them. Families' histories were interrupted and ancestral connection were broken, guys. Like their identity was stripped off. Guys, But yet, despite everything, these people still resisted. They resisted through rebellion, through escape, through preserving tradition, through storytelling, through music, faith, and community. Even though freedom was denied, many refused to surrender their humanity. They still carried their culture with them. And the effects of this slavery, the effects of black people, all kind of pain they went through, did not end when legal slavery ended. Generations have been separated from their roots. Families had been broken apart, and wealth had been extracted. Opportunities had been denied, and the consequences continued for a long time. So guys, when Louis Farrakhan is depending black people with everything he has, you have to understand, he really understands the pain through history. And the reason we talk about this is because we need you people to understand what these people went through in order to put in your minds and try to load it in your mind to understand everything. So this story is not a simple story. Millions were stripped nearly everything, yet they fought to preserve what they called their humanity, their dignity, their memory. So guys, it's about remembering who suffered before you ask questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you find this episode meaningful, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And let me know in the comment section what historical topic you like Eddy to explain, to cover next. And make sure you listen to this man, Louis Farrakhan. This man is very wise. He has good knowledge. Thank you so much for watching.